I'm with Prue Gibson. She's the author of The Rapture of Death. It's small, it's tactile and collectible. She's on a quest to discover our deathly fears. She's creepy, she's crawly, she loves skulls, she loves taxidermy, she has webbed toes, but you know what? I like her. Why is there this need to sculpt, to paint, to draw about death? What's this? Why can't they move on to something happy?
Well, that was really the core of my investigation, and the people that I wanted to ask were the artists themselves. And I just think it's a part of everybody's personality. It's part of our human nature to wonder about the uncanny and the unknown, and to be surprised by things that are irrational and illogical and unreasonable. Mm-hmm. And I think artists and writers are particularly interested in finding out those sorts of things, and that's where the ghosts fit in, and spectres and monsters and all these sort of death-like symbols in art comes from an interest in the unknown.
We're gossiping in the back.
It's little, it's black, and it's very collectible. And someone told me there are only 50 of them left to buy.
It is, and a friend of mine from Sydney who's an art writer described the book itself as a cabinet of curiosity, which I absolutely loved. And it is like that. It's so tactile and beautiful and collectible and sweet, which is thanks to the publisher, Suzanne Boccolate. And there's not many left.
After death and love, there ain't much left, hon, is there?
There's happiness.
Oh,
maybe we could write about happiness afterwards. No, that's it. That's all there is.
Nothing left.
No.
Shake the girl up in the ice. She wants to be your someday, even if it's just one day.
Joe, I wanted to ask you, with all your travels through the desert, is death less terrifying out there in the outback?
Yeah, definitely. It's a very benevolent landscape. I find the urban landscape much more threatening and much more confronting, in the sense that you do think of your lifespan more, and you do think of death more. But out in the desert landscape, never. It's so benevolent, it's so peaceful, it's so reassuring to feel that really it's not about you at all. It's not about the human content of the land. It's about everything else, and we're such a tiny, minuscule part of it that it becomes inconsequential.
For those of you that don't know, Jo Bettini is the amazing artist that goes with Australian expeditions across the desert. She goes out with her camels, the anthropologists, the explorers. She records and gets into places, I think I'm right in saying this, that are inaccessible, and records them. Her work is in the National Portrait Gallery. She's in every major collection in Australia, loads of private collections. She's been showing for what, 20-something years?
Yes, we won't talk about it. That's not something women discuss.
I think we're up to a 5-page bibliography, aren't we?
A long time. That's not
She teaches art. She's had residencies at Bunadon. She's had residencies all around the world, and in fact is one of our most accomplished artists. Jo, thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks, Annie.
I'm with Greg Elms, photographer, whose work is often dark and deathly. Greg, tell me about the work.
Okay, the fox here was the first work I ever scanned. I used a flatbed scanner, and I went up to a taxidermist's place up in Thornbury, and they have a whole room full of taxidermy, and they let me just go for it and shoot whatever I wanted. The fox was first, the lion was somewhere second, and I want to do a whole lot more of this stuff. It's sort of interesting to play with the real and the fake that taxidermy kind of works with.
Why dead? Why doesn't anyone work with alive animals anymore?
Because they move too fast.
I've managed to corner Annie Judell. Her home is in the southeast of Sydney. And her drawings and paintings are rubbed and scratched, they're scrawled, they're blackened, and then they're scratched in again. Her work is mysterious, it's alluring, it's desirable, and its abstract atmospheres come out to get you. It's sensitive, it's bountiful, and I love them. Annie, welcome to Melbourne. You drove down for tonight?
I did, and that sounds a bit scary, coming out to get you. Do they really?
Well, I feel that the light, actually, they're not about the darkness, they're about the light.
Exactly.
Is that how you feel about the work?
Of course I do. But also, of course, you can't have one without the other.
Yes.
But yeah, no, the focus is to find the light in the darkness, yes, which we're all doing all the time, groping our way through, yeah.
Some of the artists tonight talk about their fear of death, and that's what's driving them with their art. Do you feel that?
I think it drives every single thing we do, whether we admit it or not, yes.
Okay. All
It's
right.
there lurking. Somebody described it as, it was like the distant rumble of thunder at a picnic. You pretend it's not, but yep.
The Buddhist philosophy comes out to me out of a lot of your work. Is that something that you're conscious of, or is that an unconscious thing?
Very conscious. It's part of my philosophy, so it underlies all the things, everything I do, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
so,
I'm consciously Buddhist? I suppose you can, I don't know.
I think you can. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tell me what's coming up for you.
My exhibition at Mars Gallery next June.
I'm looking forward to that. Annie, every day you work on these. Can you take me through the process of your work?
It's laborious and time-consuming and takes all my energy and all my life, really. And I work repeatedly, reworking work over and over and over until one of us goes mad.
Annie, your favourite artist in the world? In any time?
I'm afraid it's got to be Rembrandt, Vermeer, the greats, really. It's like Bach in music. You can't go past them. So,
And if you could own one painting, what painting would that be?
oh, wow. On the spot. I think something like The Girl with the Pearl Earring, you know.
Yes.